Welcome to this beginner yin full body stretch. For this class, you'll need a wall. And if you have some yoga props, you'll need 2 blocks, a bolster, and a strap. If you don't have those things, you can use a chair, you can use some pillows, and a bath tie from your bathrobe. We're going to start with legs up the wall. If you don't have wall space, you can always do legs up your couch or the chair in your living room. Anything cozy where you can put your legs up and rest them on something. So let's start with legs up the wall. You're going to start by putting your hip right against the wall or your couch or your chair with your knees bent, and then you're going to swing them around and bring them up the wall. And you can leave them straight. If that bothers your back, you can bend them. You're going to be here for 5 minutes. If you get tingling in your toes or your legs, pins and needles, you can always bend them and then put them back up when that feels right for you. I'm going to start a timer so that we know how long we've been in the pose. So when you arrive in the pose, just start to settle in. Feel the support of the floor underneath you and the wall holding your legs. Take a breath in through your nose and let it fall out of your mouth. And follow your breath in through your nose and out through your nose now. And while you're focusing on your body and your breathing, I'm just going to tell you a little bit about yin yoga. We live in a world that pushes us to perform, achieve, and accomplish. This is a buzzing yang energy that often leaves us feeling restless. Many of my students today still come to yoga to get their yang movement in. Yin yoga invites us to balance all this yang energy with quiet, inward yin energy. Yin energy of softening, slowing, yielding, and allowing. Where yang is the sun and the day, yin is the moon and night. Both are necessary, but most of us have too much yang energy in our lives. In yin yoga, we embody the stillness, drop into the wisdom of our bodies, and let go of the yang energies of our mind, striving, frustration, and agitation. Instead, we choose patience, presence, and ease. There are 4 main principles in yin yoga that I focus on when I teach yin. The first one is find your edge, a place of gentle sensation, not pain. You should be able to breathe fully in the pose. The second is to soften. Just relax your muscles, allow your body to settle into the pose. The third is to be still, so that your body can soften further and your awareness can deepen. This also helps the movement, the pose drop deeper into the connective tissues and the bones. We'll get into that more a little bit later. And then we stay for a while to gently stress the deeper connective tissues, allowing them to release and open over time. Yin yoga is a practice of letting go of plans, preoccupations, and identities. It's a way of life that teaches us patience in an impatient world. And as the Buddha says, infinite patience brings immediate results. Take a breath. So now that we've settled in and we've focused our attention for this yin class, we'll start with our first yin pose. If you're at a wall, we're going to stay at the wall. If you're not, don't worry, you can still do this pose without a wall. You're going to cross your left ankle over the top of your right thigh. And then either draw your right leg in or bend your knee. Oof, I did squats at the gym yesterday. So for me, it's not going to be a big bend, or you might not bring your leg in much. You just want to feel sensation. This is about finding an appropriate edge. You want to feel sensation in the outer thigh into the glutes. For me, I'm feeling it a lot in my inner thigh today. You could use a strap here too to draw your leg in. So lots of options. Choose what works for you best today. You're going to be in this pose for 3 minutes. So let yourself settle into the pose and find an edge that you can stay with, soften and be still for 3 minutes. Most yoga practices focus on the muscles, their flexibility, strength, and fluidity. And muscles respond well to faster rhythmic movements. You often find those kind of movements in styles of yoga like hatha, maybe yoga flow classes, vinyasa classes. Yin yoga is different. In yin yoga, we focus on the deeper layers of the body, the connective tissues, the ligaments, the joints, even our bones. These tissues, especially around the hips, the pelvis, and the lower spine, need a slower, more sustained approach. So instead of moving quickly or holding poses for just a few breaths, we hold the yin poses for longer, usually 3 to 5 minutes. And this gives the connective tissues the time they need to respond. Okay, take a deep breath. And between our poses in the yin classes that I teach, I like to do a rebound. It's called a rebound. You're going to take your legs back up the wall for this rebound. If you're on your back, you're just going to take your legs down. You're going to lie either with your knees bent or your feet flat long on the ground. And we do this to feel the flow of chi, to feel the flow of energy. So just notice what's happening in your body. You might feel vibration, tingling, flow of energy. You might not feel anything. That's fine. It gives your pose a chance to integrate. Just notice what you feel inside, particularly in your legs. Maybe a buzzing feeling. So just feeling for what's happening inside your body. That's the rebound. Okay, now we're going to do keyhole stretch on the other side. So cross your right leg over your left thigh. And then either you're going to draw it in if you're not at the wall, or you're going to bend your left knee just until you feel sensation, not so that it's sensational. So that's about choosing that appropriate edge, something you can stay with for 3 minutes. Something that you can soften into so you can breathe, you can be still. And then we'll let time and gravity do all the work here. Take a breath. Okay, we're going to come into the rebound again, either with your legs up the wall, knees bent, feet flat on the floor, or legs long, depending on your position. Again, you're feeling for pulsation inside the legs, buzzing, tingling, just allowing the pose to integrate, to settle into your body. Okay, we're going to move away from the wall now. You could leave your mat against the wall. I'm going to move my mat away from the wall. So bend your knees, roll to your side. Okay, so for this pose, you're going to need a couple of blocks. If you don't have blocks, you can use pillows. And we're going to sit. You might want to sit up on a folded blanket. You can bring the soles of your feet together. You want some space between your groin and your heels. And then you're going to fill the space between your knees and the ground, either with pillows or yoga blocks. And then you're going to fold forward, and you want to feel sensation along your inner thighs here. And in this pose, I want you to breathe into your low back. You're going to be in this pose for 3 minutes. So there are actually four main principles of yin that I will be introducing you to in this beginner yin yoga class. One is finding that appropriate edge. And this just means finding a position in the pose that you can comfortably be with the other three principles of yin in. The second one is to soften. So once you find that appropriate edge, you soften into the pose and you choose to become still. And we do that so that we can stay in the pose for 3 minutes. And in the rest of the poses, we'll explore each of these principles in more depth. Okay, take a deep breath here. Come upright, so your spine is upright. Let's take another breath here. And then you're going to lie down on your back, and we're going to allow for that rebound again. And you're just feeling for sensations in your body when you're lying down for the rebound. Okay, so for the next pose, we're going to roll to our side and come up. And we're going to do, it's called dragon, it's lunge pose. So for this, you might want your blocks. If you don't have blocks, you can use a chair. We're going to hold this pose for less long. We're going to hold it for 2 minutes. And you're going to walk your left leg through. So step your left leg through, and then you want to lean forward until you feel sensation in the front of your right hip. So instead of kind of leaning all the way forward, it's more useful to tuck your pelvis under and maybe come upright a little bit more. So when we come into a yin yoga pose, remembering that it's not an aesthetic practice, it doesn't matter so much what the pose looks like. We want to find the appropriate edge. That's the first principle of yin. Edge is not a sharp shooting pain. It's not burning. It's not electric, but it might be a dull ache and it might feel uncomfortable. I have a quote here for you from Norman Blair. He says, if the sensation is burning or sharply stabbing or electrical, or if it's especially intense in a small area, then this can indicate overstretching and potentially damaging tissue. If the sensation is more of a dull or aching or throbbing, then this normally indicates tissue is being tugged in a way that is healthy. If tingling sensation occurs, that could be a sign of damaging a nerve or a blockage of blood flow. Pins and needles can be a consequence of too much pressure in particular parts of your body and a sign of the need to slightly shift the shape. Okay, let's switch sides before we do the rebound on this one. So this time you're going to walk your right leg through, and then you're going to find that appropriate edge. I do like tucking the pelvis under and coming a little bit more upright in this one to open up the front of the hip. Breathing and remembering the other principles as well to soften. So soften your jaw, soften your face, and then become still. Okay, so you're going to release this pose on the side. And you're going to rest back on your back to feel the flow of chi again. And to feel the rebound. Okay, for the next pose, we're going to do basically the same shape, a similar shape, but lying on your back. We're going to do half happy baby pose. For this one, you might want to use a strap depending on your body. So I'll show you it with the strap. So you're going to bend your left leg and you're going to hug your knee into your chest to start. You could stay here too. That could be a nice option. Or you can hold on to the bottom of your foot and draw your knee towards your armpit. If this is difficult to hold, you can also use your strap on the bottom of your foot. So this isn't straight leg. We're going to do that next. That would be for your hamstring. It's more of a hip opener here towards your armpit. So you're going to choose which version works best for you, either knee towards armpit bent or holding on to the outside of your foot towards your armpit, or you're going to use your strap. You're going to be here for 3 minutes. Okay, the second principle that I really like to focus on in yin yoga is to soften into the pose. So I love to think about softening through the joints. So soften in your ankles, your knees, your hips, your belly, your shoulders, your jaw, your neck, your eyebrows, your eyes, your forehead. Soften your tongue. So softening is essential in yin yoga because it allows us to fully access the deeper layers of the body, our connective tissues, joints, and ligaments. Unlike muscles, which engage when we hold tension, these deeper tissues require a relaxed body to benefit from the gentle, sustained stress we apply in yin poses. When we soften, we're signaling to our nervous system that it's safe to let go. Softening is not about collapsing or giving up, but about releasing unnecessary effort and finding ease in the shape. This is where true yin energy comes alive, through yielding, allowing, and surrendering. Softening also invites us to meet ourselves as we are. It's an act of kindness towards our body, letting it open gradually in its own time without force or strain. In yin yoga, softening teaches us patience and trust in the process of letting go. Okay, you're going to slowly release this pose from your body. And then we're going to release and feel the rebound. Okay, and then we might, not we might, but we're going to do the other side. Okay, so I'm going to give you options again. You might do knee to chest pose here on the left side. You might do holding on to the outside of your foot, or you might use the strap again. So you're going to choose the edge that works best for you. Remember, you're going to be in this pose for 3 minutes. Breathing, softening. Be still, allowing yourself to stay for a while. Okay, slowly release this half-happy baby from your body. You're going to feel the rebound. I'm going to look what's next. I think it's banana asana. No, it's hand to big toe pose. So we're going to get into your hamstrings now. So you're going to place your strap around the ball of your right foot. If you don't have a strap, you're going to use the tie from your bathrobe. And you can have your left leg bent. I would recommend this if you have back problems, to have your left leg bent. You want to draw your leg in until you feel sensation along the back of your leg. So the third principle of yin is stillness. We want to settle into stillness and allow your body to soften, letting gravity take over to support your weight completely. And in stillness, the energy begins to settle into the deeper layers of your body, into the bones, into the joints and the connective tissue. rather than staying at the surface level with the muscles. Stillness also invites the yin qualities of surrender, ease, and relaxation. It gives us the space to notice physical sensations and emotions as they arise without reacting impulsively to try to fix or change them. It's just so easy in the world that we live in to move out of discomfort, to reach for the phone, to scroll through TikTok or Instagram. But in yin, we're practicing staying with physical discomfort, staying with emotional discomfort, staying with boredom. This practice of staying present teaches us kindness and compassion towards ourselves, even in moments of discomfort. Stillness also helps us release habitual tension, so we can focus on breathing out, allowing tension to drop down and into the earth. And I spend a lot of time teaching my members somatic meditation, where I teach them how to release tension down and into the earth through a meditation called somatic meditation. So if that interests you, you can check out our membership as well. And stillness is a way that we are building our trust with our body to create a sense of safety in the body, sending signals to the nervous system that it's okay to let go. This builds trust, both in our bodies and in the process of being still and present with whatever arises. Take a breath. Okay, so you can release that and let it go. Feel the difference between your right and your left side. And then we're going to go ahead and hook up the ball of your left foot and draw your left leg in so that you feel sensation along the back of your left leg. Take a breath. Let's release this side. Feel the rebound. Okay, we're going to do, I'm pretty sure we're going to do banana asana now. So for this pose, the focus is on your spine and bending your spine sideways. So take your feet over to the left corner of your mat. Side bend over to the right side of your mat. You want to feel the stretch in your spine. And if you want, you can add your arms overhead if that doesn't bother your shoulders. You can have your arms straight, hold on to your elbows. So whatever works best for you in this pose. You're going to be in this pose for 3 minutes. So find that appropriate edge where you can soften and be still so you can stay in this pose for 3 minutes. So the fourth principle in Yin Yoga is that we stay for a while. So typically we stay for 3 to 5 minutes, though for beginners we might stay for 1 to 3 minutes. That's a good place to start. In some cases, in some Yin Yoga poses, we might stay for up to 20 minutes. In some seated forward folds, for example, when we're more advanced yogis, it can be really nice to stay for 20 minutes if we have the capacity to really soften and be still in those poses. But the reason we stay longer is to target the deeper layers of the connective tissues, the fascia, the ligaments, the joint capsules that support and stabilize our bodies. So unlike our muscles, which thrive on rhythmic and repetitive movements to build strength and flexibility, the connective tissues require stillness and sustained gentle stress over time. These tissues respond because they are adaptive. They remodel themselves in response to consistent and steady loads. This is why we allow them time and gravity to do the work in Yin Yoga, rather than relying on muscular effort. So it's not effort that we want in these poses. That's why we soften into them. That's why we're still in them. So Bernie Clark, who's a famous Yin Yoga teacher, often likens this process to braces on teeth. So when you go to the orthodontist is going to tighten them a little bit. So there's that adaptive stress over time. So just as braces work through gentle and continuous pressure to create change, that's what we're doing in a Yin Yoga pose. The deeper layers of our connective tissues respond best to slow, mindful traction. By staying for a while, we give these tissues the opportunity to gradually open, release tension, and build resilience. The time in stillness also gives the nervous system a chance to settle, helping us cultivate patience, trust, and a sense of ease in your body and mind. Okay, so you're going to take a breath. And you're going to come back to the center and feel that rebound. And then we're going to do banana asana on the other side. So this time you're going to take your feet over to the right side of your mat and side bend over the right side of your mat. You want to feel this in your spine. So as much as you can with this curve, you want to feel sensation in your spine. And then you can add your arms. If you want to add your arms, it might be enough just in your spine. Like, come back to center. And then we're going to come into a twist on both sides for our final yin pose. So for this, you might want either, if you have a bolster. If not, it's no big deal. You could use a cushion. So put the cushion or the bolster on your left side. You're going to bend your right knee. Press into your right foot. Tuck your left hip all the way under. In fact, I want you to roll all the way onto your left side. And then you're going to roll back onto your back. You're going to be in this twist for 3 minutes. And when you're in this pose, you can focus on breathing into your right rib. Okay, take a breath. And you're going to come back onto your back, press into your foot, and untuck your hips. Just lie on your back for a moment. We'll feel the rebound and also just give your spine a chance to untwist. And then you're going to take your pillows or your bolster over to the other side. And you're going to extend your right leg, bend your left knee. Tuck your right hip under, and in fact, come all the way onto your right side and roll back onto your back. You're going to be on this side for 3 minutes. Breathe into your left rib this time. Take a breath. And then roll towards your back. Press into your left foot. Untuck your hips. Give your spine a chance to unravel. Feel the rebound. Having something underneath your knees can be really nice for the flow of energy here, especially after a yin class, just to let everything flow and settle. You're going to stay here resting back, and I'm going to sit up and read you a poem. I like to finish my yoga classes with a poem because it helps to, especially in a yin class, keep you in the more yin receptive state of mind rather than the yang analytical state of mind. This poem is called After Softening by Rosemary Watola Trommer. Sometimes, like today, when I have opened my heart so wide that anything at all might fly in, a sweetness or a curiosity, Sometimes when I am most expansive, a sinister whisper comes. It flutters through my blood, shudders in my heart. Then I find on the floor a slender rectangle of light and lie for a time in the warmth. The sun soaks in through my skin, and I invite it deeper in. I soften. I rest my hands on my belly, my chest. Notice their weight, how the simple rise of breath is enough to lift them. Outside, there are chickadees calling to each other. I imagine them calling to me, "Sweetie, sweetie." Oh, I fear that I am too much. Oh, I fear that I dare too big. I am not surprised you showed up today, but see how the sun showed up too. The enormous sun with its unfailing radiance, the giant sun with its unstinting glow. The generous sun came and met me on the floor and reminded me what I can do. And notice how you feel in your body at the end of this class. Take a breath, start to wiggle and stretch out. You can bend your knees and roll to your side and slowly make your way up to seated. If you enjoyed this class, I appreciate so much you giving it a thumbs up, liking and subscribing, and put "I embrace the principles of yin today." And it helps so much if you share this class with others who you think might enjoy it as well, so that we can inspire others to receive the benefits of yoga as well. I'm sending you so much love from beautiful British Columbia. May your joy be as deep as our Pacific Ocean. May you be as rooted as the old growth trees in our forests, and may you be as strong as our mountains. Here on Yoga with Melissa, we trust our bodies so that we can transform our paths.